Hello. Hello. This is called curry time. If you don't know what curry time means, it means late. So we are late, but you know what? Doesn't matter, because we just go with the flow whenever we can and do the best we can. And like you people, I know you've been waiting around for a while, but it's a blessing that we're all here today because it's a beautiful day. Some people in the front are going to get sunburned, that's all right. Have a little bit of tan there, eh? All right. Jennie, everyone. Jennie means hello if people don't know what it means. Also, welcome. Welcome to all you people sitting here today, all our next generation and our future people that's here. I'd like to pay my respects to our elders past and present. Also, I'd like to pay my respects to our next generation, all our young ones that's coming through, your young ones that's coming through, your people, your children that's coming through this land today. Also, I'd like to pay my respects to all the people around us. I know we're here today to open this event today for the people that's doing our changing in the council. Our next people that's going to come and do this change for us, and good changes, show us in our community that we can work together. Give us our strength, give us our knowledge to know what we can all put together. And you people sitting here today is going to show that to everybody in this town and other places. So I know that I don't talk a lot, but I want to tell you that I'm part of the Convention land. People in the Coffs Harbour area. We come from Coffs Harbour up to Dorrigo, down to as far as Maxwell and then Bucca, and up to Grafton. In that area, our people come from. This land is meant for everyone to be used and to share. We share it because we love it. It's a beautiful place to live and to share it. And I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Coffs Harbour. I've got 3 children, 10 grandchildren, and I'm still working. I love work. Where I work today, I work with the next generation. The kids I work with, I love them. And the people I work with, I praise them because they share the knowledge to all our people and all our kids. And that's why I love work. There's going to be a time when I do leave work, but I'm still going to carry on because I'd love to do the things I do like today, because I love it. This is what it's all about. If you love something, go for it, because it's there to be used by everybody. And the people around us, you know, share that knowledge. Share our things that we got together, because it's a thing that we keep in our mind and will always be carried on to our next generation. I was watching this little Jargon here, walking around here. She's just so lovely. And this Jargon means children to my language. And she wants to know the knowledge that she got there, sitting there, and all the kids around us, give it to them, show them, carry on. So I'm going to let Troy do our smoking ceremony, and thank you. I want to say thank you again for bringing me out here to share this little bit of knowledge with you. So I'm going to say, go with the flow all day today. Whatever you say today and have your meeting, work together. Share the knowledge where you have got the knowledge. So I'm going to say goodbye. Yari Rung, that means I'll be still around, but I've got Troy's in smoking. So Troy's going to have a bit of a yarn with you too. Troy, thank you.
Kira kaya jauh, terus aku jalan itu. Ialah Bellingen Shire. Itu kerja Troy Robinson. Ngayam kumbangnya jambu, jual jambu. Ngayam kumbangnya wajana. Ialah Bellingen Shire. Ini ialah gugumbu. Bellingen, and then get a Waja. And before I start, I'd like to say, Ngaya, Yanuni, Garana Jalam Bokum, Benga the Gita Waja. So, yeah, I just want to say, my name's Troy. Very good to see you all. We say, and we say this country here is Bellingen country. It's a home of the native cat. It's a really important country to my people. My people come from Barraville, very English country, and my great-great-grandmother, Florence Ballingarry, she lived to 113. She used to walk at the bottoms of the valleys here and come all the way to Bellingen country here because she was a midwife. And our women used to have our beautiful ancestral women used to have our children up the rivers here, the promised lands, and up and beyond. So this place is very significant to my people, the Ballingarry tribe, and also very significant that my uncle Martin Ballingarry enables me to do a smoking ceremony, and I'll give my respect to him. I also said Ngaya, so myself, Yanuni, me and my beautiful Baran here, my auntie, we give our respect to the ancestors of this country, and we say, Ngaya Garana Jalam Bokum Benga the Gita Waja. So I pay my respects to all the old people in this country. I did a ceremony out here, and I'd like to give respect to beautiful Uncle Tom Kelly as well, Uncle Porky Kelly, and all our elders from out here that allow us to be out of this country and represent Aboriginal people. I did a ceremony here for his birthday a very long time ago, and I definitely give my respect to them. And this smoking is for them. So we do a smoking, our people, to cleanse the mind, body, and spirit. And when we cleanse our mind, body, and spirit, we ask them ancestors to come and take all that bad spirit within us. So we say, Big Yalgi Yadi Jumbo, Dadarani Yadi Jumbo. All the bad spirits go with the smoke. So when that smoke goes and disappears, all them good spirits come through the smoke. So what I'll do, I'll come around and let you all get a beautiful smell of some of this beautiful lemon myrtle that's now smoking. And I'll sing you the song and dance. Darren. Ikayale Jumbo, Doromani Yari Jumbo, Ikayale Jumbo, Doromani Yari Jumbo, Ikayale Jumbo, Doromani Yari Jumbo. Ikayale Jumbo, Daromani Yari Jumbo, Ikayale Jumbo, Daromani Yari Jumbo, Ikayale Jumbo. Daromani Yari Jumbo. Daromani Yari Jumbo. Just so we can all pay some respect to our country, I'm just going to do a little song. Get on him. Get on him. Get on him. Give it up. Jump down. Jump down. said it before, we give respect to our people. And this is a song that we say, respect our country could be a country. And please look after country. Yeah, that smoke will definitely come around and it will get to you. Please bring all that positivity in here. Bring that positive vibe here to Bellingen country, Bellingen country, home of the world, of native cat. So let's bring that here, eh? Ready? Hold ball. This is here for our, you are all representing our children, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a job. So please, let's have some positivity around council, around town. Bring all that good, vibrant, beautiful strength from our ancestors, because I know tomorrow's a very special day and for our people, and all we do is just acknowledge them, reflect on our country. Not just my ancestors, your ancestors as well. So, dum dum, daddy dum.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you, Liz, for inviting us out, and I'll hand you over to you.
So, thank you, Mark, Jennie, and thank you, Kate. That was great start for So, in welcoming you today, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners and pay my respect to those past. I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Can you hear me now? No?
Closer? Okay. I'd like to thank you very much for coming to support your friends and family who have been elected as councillors to Bellingen Shire Council. I'd like to thank Melinda for coming, who is our local member for Oxley. It's really great to see you here, Melinda, thank you. And I'd like to welcome our new Mayor, Steve Allan, our returning councillors, Councillor Dominic and Jennie Fenton, and our newly elected councillors who are all sitting together. Councillor Jo Brotherton, Councillor Jo Cook, Councillor Steve Allan, and Councillor Elie. And as I said, I'd like to thank you all for coming along today. It's our great pleasure to host the oath and affirmation taking ceremony today for our new and returning councillors for the 2021-2024 council term. It's often said that local government is the closest form of government to the people, but its role is often not well understood. Each council is an independent statutory body responsible for administering its local government area. It is comprised of local councillors, we have 7, who work together to provide leadership to their community. Local government is a very large employer across the state. 48,000 people work for local government in New South Wales. And local government spends more than $12.5 billion annually on behalf of its community. It's concerned with matters such as planning, development, public health and infrastructure, parks, libraries, local community and environmental issues, funding for emergency services, community resilience, disaster preparedness and response, as well as managing our wastewater, just to name a few.
Local councils deliver these services to their communities each and every day. Not only is local government the most complex of businesses, but its governance is necessarily broad-ranging and complex. To respond to regulation and legislation and policies and all the other things that are imposed by local government, on local government by other levels of government, as well as meeting community expectations. Our councillors who are here today will be the governing body of a local government area who is home to 13,000 with 3 geographical areas and very distinct, vibrant communities with an abundance of natural assets, meaning 57% of our area is not rateable. Our operating budget this year is $33 million. Our asset base is valued at $500 million. We look after 577 kilometres of roads, 53 bridges, 3 libraries, 2 swim centres, 3 waste facilities, 5 sewage treatment plants, as well as the waste facilities in the sail yard. We invest extensively in emergency services, including the RFS, the SMS, and the surf life escaping clubs. We have 158 positions in our organisational structure, and 38% of employees at manager level are women. Statewide, the focus for local government for the last decade or so has been on direction setting that responds to local aspirations. The infrastructure backlog that we had as a result of a long period of rate picking, managing each organisation sustainably in the broadest sense, and moving from information provision to engagement, and more recently, particularly over the past couple of years, responding to fire, water shortages, drought, flood, and now COVID, in a sincere endeavour here to build resilience. Each council has a governing body who are here before you, comprised of elected representatives, and just as corporations have boards, as well as the administration of the council, whose role is to provide professional advice to the council in terms of direction setting and operations, and to implement the decisions of the council. Being a council is a big gig. Guess what? There's no position description, just a very long list of expectations. Legislative requirements, policies to develop, policies to develop and comply with training and professional development to undertake, all of which requires not only great people who are prepared to commit to engaging with and representing their community, but life skills, leadership and integrity, as well as tenacity, agility, and at times bravery in the face of sometimes very tough issues. It's an exciting time for the newly elected council, and we are, as in we, and I say that on behalf of the staff, are looking forward to working with each and every one of you to understand what is important, and the aspirations of your community members to prioritise and continue to bring the community vision to life. In taking the oath and affirmation today, the councillors are declaring that they will undertake the duties of the office of council in the best interests of the people of the Bellingen local government area and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that they will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers and authorities and discretions vested in councillors under the Local Government Act or any other act to the best of their ability. My sincere view after working with councils and communities for a very long time is that local councils are custodians for their local communities and that each council leaves a legacy. The taking of the oath and affirmation today by each of our elected councillors is the beginning of that legacy for each and every one of you, and I sincerely wish every one of you the very best in that journey. So I'd like to now invite Mayor Allan to take his oath, followed by Councillor Brotherton, Cook, Fenton, Glyde, Jennie and Trent.
Actually making an affirmation. I, Stephen Allan, solemnly and sincerely sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of Councillor in the best interests of the people of Bellingen Shire and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Hello everybody, thank you for coming today. I, Jo Brotherton, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of Councillor in the best interests of the people of Bellingen Shire and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Councillor Fenton.
I'd like to acknowledge that I'm making this affirmation on behalf of the country this morning and pay my respects to elders past, present and future. I, Jennie Fenton, solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of office of Councillor in the best interest of the people of Bellingen Shire and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretion vested in me under the Local Government Act or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Councillor Cook.
I, Joanne Cook, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of Councillor in the best interests of the people of Bellingen Shire and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Councillor Glyde.
Just like to say that Robbo's got as good a move on a footy field as here. I, Stephen Glyde, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of Councillor in the best interests of the people of the Bellingen Shire and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Councillor King.
I'd also like to start by acknowledging that I'm making my affirmation I will give back to the country and I'd like to pay my respects to the past, present and future. I, Dominic King, solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of Councillor in the best interests of the people of Bellingen Shire and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Councillor Tree.
I, Elie Tree, solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of Councillor in the best interests of the people of the Bellingen Shire and the Bellingen Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
So, congratulations to all the councillors who have now been sworn in officially as councillors. In welcoming Councillor Allan, who is our mayor, to the lectern, I'd like to explain what we gave to all of the councillors. It's a framed copy of the very first minute of the Bellingen Shire Council. So that's a memento for the very first election for this term council.
Thank you very much for coming along today, and thank you to all the staff for everything you've done to put this together for us today. It's wonderful to see you all here, especially given the challenges we continue to face with this Omicron wave of the pandemic. I'd like to welcome all the councillors, Councillor Jo Brotherton, Councillor Joanne Cook, Councillor Jennie Fenton, Councillor Steve Glyde, Councillor Dominic King, Councillor Elie Tree. I offer my congratulations to you and thank you for the commitment to serve our community that you have just undertaken during this ceremony. And a warm welcome to our friends and family who have been able to join us today for this ceremony prior to the very first meeting of the 2021-2023 Council. The taking of the oath or affirmation ceremony is a very important occasion for our community, marking the commencement of our new council. And for we councillors as we formally transition from a collection of individuals to elected persons and members of a governing body responsible for providing an essential link between communities and council. We are entrusted to represent the interests of the community, provide leadership and guidance to the community, and with integrity make decisions about policies that guide the activities and set the strategic direction of the council in the best interests of all the community. As a team and individually, we must understand the nuances of our community, our sense of place in the unique, pristine natural environment and the built environments throughout our shire, and the needs and types of services required to meet those needs. Although not well defined in our federal constitution local government plays a critical role in the delivery of the most vital services for the communities, as Liz was talking about earlier. Interestingly, if we look back to the earliest days of European settlement of this country, local government was the first form of government. Shires were formed between the colony of Sydney Town and the outpost of Parramatta, and toll gates set up at each shire boundary to develop and maintain the route that became Parramatta Road. I guess you could argue the more things change, the more they stay the same. One thing that hasn't changed is the critical role the local government has in maintaining and developing the social and economic fabric of our regions, bringing communities together and producing local solutions to local problems. We are so fortunate to live in a free and democratic society, one that's been created, nurtured and defended by our forebears. As Liz said, often described as the level of government closest to the community, local government could be considered as exemplifying the intent of one of history's greatest fathers of democracy, Abraham Lincoln, who described in his Gettysburg Address a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. My fellow councillors, the residents have put their faith in you to represent their needs at the local level, and I know this is a responsibility you will not take lightly. Being a councillor is a privilege and a wonderful opportunity to make a difference to your community. Although challenging at times, your service through the democratic process will have a profound impact on the local community. This council, like the councils that have come before, has local challenges to work with. Our shire is relatively large to our rate base, which means it's imperative that we continue to focus on our financial sustainability, proactively addressing our infrastructure backlog, supporting business growth, and building community resilience so we are prepared for what comes next. I'm aware that we are not alone and that we need to work closely with our colleagues at all levels of government to face the challenges, to grasp the opportunities, and ultimately to serve the people of our communities to the best of our abilities. It's important that we engage proactively with our community and with our elected members at state and federal level to achieve this. There's a big number of projects progressively coming to life, including the Sewering Coastal Villages project, fixing country bridges, the Memorial Hall transformation, which we can hear is underway, our Recovery, Preparedness and Resilience program, our Climate Emergency Response, and extensive investment in road renewal, rollout of our branding strategy, and development of eco-tourism opportunities, just to name a few. Our ability to deliver great projects for our community is the culmination of many years of work in terms of financial sustainability of the council, securing additional revenue, understanding our asset base, and securing large amounts of grant funding, and I acknowledge the work done by our predecessors. One of the first tasks that the new council will be working on is developing our new corporate plan. This is not only going to shape the work the council does year on year, but frame the longer term vision to reflect the aspirations of our community, which is why it's important that we take time to reflect on who we are as a community and where we've come from. To take the time to respect and celebrate each other's stories and contributions towards making this place we call home so special. And I want to make sure the council delivers on our vision for the future, which is why I encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity to have your say in our Shire's community vision. It's our Shire's roadmap for the future, and we need to know what you think. So please have your say by going to Council's website, completing the community vision survey, or by scanning the QR code on postcards that are here available today. I have no doubt that all of our councillors will embrace their role with enthusiasm and energy to work for our Shire and the communities within it. And I look forward to embracing the challenges of local government and working with you as Mayor, a role I'm most humbled and honoured to be elected to. Thank you.
you, Mr Mayor. I did not know that there gold gates on that road, so there we go. Thank you everyone for coming. That's the conclusion of the formalities here.